Hey guys, this is gamercal playing Pokemon trading card game. We are gonna run around the grass club because we can. Yeah, I'm done with the whole farming stuff, so we have a new deck. It's called Agile Hunters. It's not really a new deck, it's still Fire Lightning, but I'm going to call it new anyway. There was one thing I wasn't able to get before doing this, but that's simply because the packs are kind of extremely rare, and that's just the way it goes. But still, Fire Lightning deck, obviously still running with most of the same stuff. It's called Agile Hunters because I have Rapidash and I have Raichu, and both of those have Agility. Agility, if it's not already obvious, I think I might have used it in a game already, but basically if you flip heads then all of the opponent's attacks do nothing next turn. It's very annoying in those that constantly flip heads, especially with Rapidash because it's actually kind of powerful to go with it. In terms of actual trainers, what I picked up lots of Bill, Professor Oak. I've got 3 in total, but I'm only going to run 2 in this deck. Pokemon Trader, of course, I got 4 of those. I got a couple of others which aren't really used in this deck, but will be later. Computer Search, I now have 3 of them, because Computer Search is probably one of the best cards in the game, and definitely you need to have that. And, well, Energy Retrieval, that was one which I picked up, and yeah, that's basically it. An extra switch, I guess, but that's the main ones. In terms of what I picked up as well, I kind of had to get a second Venusaur because that was in one of the trader sets. Nidoking, I know I got a couple of Nidokings, so that's there. We'll definitely be seeing him later because he is badass. I've actually got the cards to use it too, which is good. Vileplume we had already, Victreebel we had already. I got a Cypher, which is actually one of the best cards of the game, but we'll be seeing that later, because right now it's not that needed. I got myself that Pinsir again, but that was again because of stuff that was there. Didn't really get much more here, which is disappointing. I kind of need another Charmeleon to make this really work, but yeah. Growlithe Arcanine, got a couple extra of those, we'll use those later. Not really anything else for here. I got a couple of Blastoise, which is unfortunate. I wasn't looking to get them, but whatever, we've got them anyway. That will be useful later. We've got Kingler, so I can use that, and Seaking, obviously most of them here. We've got a Gyarados. That's not usually very uncommon. Gyarados tends to be picked up a lot, so we'll see more of those later. Obviously the second Raichu is different, but that's fine. There was another couple of Jolteon, don't really care. A couple of Zapdos again, don't care. I think I got Machamp. Did I get Machamp? I got Dugtrio as well, but we'll see that later. Yes, I did. I got Machamp as well, and again, another card for later on. I can use Golem as well, which is not terrible. Psychic Line, did I get anything? Not really. Jinx, I guess, but Jinx was already there. I got Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff was one which I picked up, and that is very powerful. We'll see that later. It's not as good in this game as it is in the sequel, but still, it's pretty awesome. And in terms of other trainers, I got Scoop Up, one copy of that, which is fairly good. We'll probably see it later because I'll use cards on that. Item Finder, very good card, but I'm not going to use it just now because I find Computer Search is better in this generation. So yeah, and that's basically it. So with that huge long-winded thing done, we are going to continue onward. And Master Nikki's out right now. Yeah, so basically, if we defeat this girl, we will find out where Nikki is, and 4 prizes will indeed be okay. So, we are fighting Heather. This was the one I thought was Brittany, for some reason. She uses an Eevee deck, which uses the Game Boy versions of the Evolutions, and also Venomoth. Venomoth has a power which lets it change its type to one of the other types that's in play, apart from Colorless. So the idea is that she has lots of evolutions. You can then use the evolutions to pretty much, yeah, go with stuff. Now, Porygon's a very freaking annoying card. It's utterly useless, to be perfectly honest, but it's very, very annoying because you can't really do anything to it if it sets up. It only has 30 HP and it has a retreat cost as well, so kinda useless there. It doesn't have any attacking damage moves, but its conversion attacks will change weaknesses and resistances. So right now, because it's resistant to lightning thanks to its own power, I can't really do anything to it, and that's kind of dumb. But what I will be able to do now is I'll be able to use Pokemon Trader, trade away one of my Rapidash, and get myself a Raichu. And eventually, although it will take about 4 turns, I will be able to power through it by using Thunder, which is good. She has so many freaking Porygon. I don't even understand why she plays Porygon. And I'm definitely never going to be using Porygon myself because it's the worst card ever, pretty much. But you can see every one of her Pokemon is a Porygon. All it does is for 1 energy you can change the opponent's weakness, which, okay, that's kind of good, but not on a 30 HP 1 retreat cost Pokemon. And then you can change its resistance for 2 energy. That is all it can do. So freaking useless. Anyway, I'm going to evolve to Raichu now, and I'm going to try an agility, just in case... Yeah, now if she wanted to conversion 1 and change my weakness to grass or something, she can't do it, because I have agility hacked, basically. And with that, we now have an Eevee as well. That, I guess, is pretty good. I'll put that down. I have enough energy now to play with Thunder. Thunder will do 30 damage through the resistance, and if I flip tails I also do 30 to myself. But because I flipped heads, I kind of don't. This deck is not that great because it relies on coin tosses pretty much constantly, but at the same time, if you've got it going for you, then it works, pretty much. But yeah, now she's going to change my weakness to Psychic for some reason. She doesn't play any Psychic types. The hell, dude? Anyway, Eevee going to have a Fire Energy, and I am going to Thunder and get Tails. So 30 damage to myself as well. That kind of sucks. That's the sort of disadvantage of using Raichu, really. It's a decent card, but it can hurt itself too. Now, Tailwag, she's flipped heads, so I can't actually attack next turn, which is very, very annoying. I hate it when that happens, but nonetheless, it is not a terrible situation. I guess I'm just gonna charge up Eevee, and if I need to, I'll computer search into something. I don't know. Seems kind of weird at the moment. I mean, I could get Flareon, I guess, but I want to kill this Eevee. Yeah, now I can kill this Eevee with my Raichu, which is good. In fact, I think I will. Let's go computer search. We'll just discard Charizard and Charmeleon because I'm not going to be using them this game, and get myself Flareon. Now, this Flareon's kind of cool. It doesn't have that much HP, but it does use all colorless energy, straight 30 damage, or if you've taken damage already, you can do more damage for every counter on it. It's a very expensive attack, that Rage, but still, it's pretty good. But Thunder will one-hit KO the Eevee. I'm just about going to kill myself as well, but it doesn't really matter at this point, because the only card that she has left is Porygon's. And Porygon cannot stand up to that. Why has she got 3 energy on this Porygon? That makes no sense. Seriously. I go and kill myself as well. Fantastic. Well done, Raichu. You've taken out yourself in 3 Thunders. The opponent didn't damage me at all. It was all Raichu that just... yeah. Good going, buddy. Good going. Anyway, for beating her, we get Colosseum packs. And inside that, we're going to get a Gyarados. See, I told you, it's going to be very, very common getting that. Some basics over here, Nidoran Male, that might be useful. And another one, we get Dugtrio. Okay, so that's pretty much the same as what I had before. Dogtrio does 40 damage for 3 energy, and Earthquake does 70 for 4, but it's 4 fighting, and it does 10 to all of your own bench. Compare that to the modern game where Donphan Prime does 60 for 1 fighting and 10 to your own bench for the Earthquake. It's ridiculous. But that was the way these old games went. Also, we get another Ponyta. That's pretty interesting. I might use that. Anyway, Nikki is visiting this Ishihara person, so we're going to need to go and see her there. Do I have another Rapidash, actually? I do indeed. That is an interesting prospect, and I think I might take advantage of that. I'm going to take out the Flareon and other Eevee, and I'm going to put in, instead, the Ponyta Rapidash. So I'm going to focus just about entirely on that sort of line. You know, just go completely on the agility side here. So, this dude over here is Ishihara, and there's nobody actually over here. The hell, dude. But of course there is Nikki, and Nikki is the important thing. So, da-di-da, little research. Yes, you can only duel at the club, apparently. So, we're going to have to go back and duel her at the club now. Sure, why the hell not? That aside, however, once you are able to play a gym leader, you do actually get a mail from, what's his face, Mason, about stuff. I've actually got 2 mails. Wonder why. One Many Masters about Nikki's deck. Yeah, so you get information about the club leader's decks, and, you know, you can use that for everything. Basically, her deck is an Executor Venusaur deck, which is actually very powerful if it can get to set up. Because Venusaur, as you know, Energy Trance, you switch all of your grass energy about. Executor, you flip coins depending on how many energy it has, so if you've got a decent amount of luck, Executor is a very, very powerful card with that. A lot of fire types. So we get ourselves a Colosseum pack from him, which gives us Gyarados. Yay! Well, technically it does give us a Magmar, so I guess that's there. But really, that's the only fire card that was in there, and this pack was supposed to contain a lot of fire cards. No, it didn't. What is this one? Anyway, information about Isaac. Why am I getting information about him? I've not... Maybe it's because I played a guy in the Lightning Club, but, you know, to get packs that I got just now, but seriously. Anyway, his deck is self-destruct and style, it's electric, so... yeah, fighting types, because they are resistant to lightning, that's why you should use them. So we get ourselves an evolution pack, and that is going to contain another Venusaur. I don't need 3 Venusaur game. 2 is fine. Anyway, this card is interesting, and I have an idea of what I'm going to do with it later, but yeah, right now, not going to bother. So yeah, we got a Sandshrew. Sandshrew is kind of cool, I guess. Sorry. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we know what Nikki can do. She is a grass player that uses Venusaurs and stuff, and of course I'm using a fire deck, but you know, that's just it. She is interesting if she gets to set up, but I think I'll probably reserve that until later. I'm not gonna play like not gonna play pure weaknesses or anything, but at the same time I'm going to at least be using one type that's like the weakness of the club leaders and stuff, because seriously, some of these can get very, very annoying, and I think we're gonna see that right here, because Oddish, oh god. For some reason she uses Vileplume as well, and it doesn't make sense to me, but that's just the way the game is set up. But anyway, paralysis stuff, horrible, horrible, horrible. I do, however, have Pokemon traders, so what I'm going to do is trade away Rapidash and get myself a Fire-type basic, which I think should probably be Ponyta. Well, it has to be Ponyta, basically, because it's either Ponyta or Charmander, and I kind of want Ponyta. I have enough fire energy to use it, so yeah, there's not much point in doing other stuff, really. She does have some psychic energies because Execute uses a couple. It's more a token effort than anything else, but yeah, it's by far and away not the main idea of her deck to use psychic types, so psychic energy at all. So I'm pretty much using this Pikachu as death fodder here, because now that this Ponyta is set up, it's going to do 60 damage to all of her Pokemon, so it will kind of rip through her pretty quickly. The thing is, the club leaders just about exclusively use their type, so they are pretty weak against, you know, weakness stuff. So Rapidash is pretty well going to completely screw everything here. And that's just that. I don't think I will be showing this again for a while though, because yeah, I want to just get through most of the game stuff first, but I'm thinking maybe post-game, once I've done most of the other stuff, I might well go back and play the club leaders without using weakness and stuff. Just go with a completely neutral deck, or maybe just go with one deck and play through everyone. Anyway, agility, we're going to get Tails, so there's no immunity stuff here, but to be honest, if I'm going to one-hit KO every Pokemon she has, it probably won't matter. And, well, if she evolved, then it would, but no, Hypnosis putting me to sleep. How sleep works is that in between every player's turn you flip a coin, and if you get heads, you wake up, which is what I've done here. If you get tails, then it works like paralysis, you can't attack or retreat during the turn. That's just it, really. So yep, now I flipped heads, her next attack is going to do absolutely nothing to Rapidash, and yeah, there is nothing that she can really do about this. This is just the way it goes. This is the thing of playing with weaknesses, I suppose, but right now there is absolutely nothing that she could ever possibly get which would mess me up here. So, you know, Rapidash, just keep on running, really. Oh, agility hacks. I think Kyle's done this quite a lot as well, and it's pretty funny when you get it set up. Especially when you're playing against weakness, because yeah, this is just slaughter. Oh my god, wow. Even if she wanted to do anything, there's nothing you can do against this. There's a Charmander, what do you freaking do? Like, we really need Charmander now. That would be scary if she had energy on the board. Pokemon Breeder is a card I have a couple of but won't be using just now. It basically lets you go from basic to stage 2 without any issue. However, Venusaur needs 4 energy, so really she has no way of using it right now, and just in case, I am going to get myself a Raichu, and that is basically going to completely screw this game over. That's pretty much it. Don't even care about getting heads or tails here, because seriously, there is no requirement for that at this stage. There is literally nothing she can do. Especially if she doesn't even have any energy. I mean, god. You know what else is cool about Rapidash though, is that it has 0 retreat cost. So it's a pretty strong card for mid-game. Early to mid-game. I mean, it takes a lot of energy, and it is very slow as a result, but still, it's a powerful, powerful card, as you can see here, even though I flipped tails quite a bit there. It's only stage 1 as well, so it doesn't take that long to get out. And Ponyta is pretty good, if you can get around it a bit. But yeah, truly are skilled, inherit cards, da-di-da, we get ourselves the Grass Meadow. And that is pretty darn good, to be perfectly honest. We also get ourselves Laboratory Packs, which is the rarer one that I couldn't get before. Which does make it tempting to actually play her more, but I don't know. Anyway, Muck, pretty freaking cool. It has the power to block out every other power that's in the game. Great. Yeah, that totally sounds freaking not confusing at all. Whatever, doesn't make a difference. Mug is not that strong in the original game because there's not that much that relies on powers. Despite that, some of the heavier hitters like Venusaur and Charizard do, so you can completely screw up some decks. For free energy, it hits a little bit weaker than Beedrill, so it's not that great, but Grimer is very good, so it kinda works. Maintenance, one of the only cards that can shuffle cards in your hand into the deck, but it's still a very terrible one. Shuffling 2 of the other cards and drawing only 1, I guess in Yugi terms that would be a -2, and yeah, you can rarely get away with that. Very situational. I might try and use it once or twice, but nah, not that good. Dodrio, on the other hand, that's a card we're going to see quite a lot later, because its power lets you retreat for less, basically. I like to play 2-2 lines of that later, and that's pretty good. This is what I wanted before. Spearow Fearow is another agility user, and I would have gone with that before, but whatever. Tentacle, I have an idea of how I'm going to use him, and we'll see that later. It's only 30 HP, and it's literally, like, absolutely terrible, but it has one niche use, which we're going to see later. Likewise, Gambler, well, I don't really have a plan to use Gambler, to be honest, but if you don't like Professor Oak's discarding, this is the only option you've got for getting other cards out. The thing is, it needs heads in order to do anything good. If you flip tails with that, good luck for a while. Maybe if you've got Kangaskhan, but nah. And then in this pack we have Ninetales. That's actually pretty interesting. If I go and make a fire deck later, I'm probably going to be using this, because it's fairly cool. It shuffles away the opponent's basic and evolution cards in their hand. It basically just randomizes them again, so it can help out, it can screw them up. You can't really tell unless you play it with one other card that lets you see their hand, but you know, it's interesting. And then Dancing Embers, you flip 8 coins and do 10 damage per heads. Very luck based, but at the same time you're gonna average about 30 to 50 damage from that. So it's not terrible. Then we get Fearow, which is what I was after before. Agility, free energy, 20 damage, you know. Its Drill Peck is expensive for 40 damage, but it is a colourless Pokemon, so you can fit it anywhere. And again, 0 retreat cost, stage 1, not too bad. Another maintenance, that's okay, another Gambler. Recycle is the only card in the original game that lets you take a card from your discard pile and get it back. It's not a good card by anyone's standards because it needs a coin toss to work, but it is your only option, and it's your only way of getting evolution cards from the discard pile back at all. Everything else, I mean, you've got Item Finder for trainers, you've got Revive if you want Pokemon basics, you've got Energy Retrieval for energies, but for evolution cards, it's your only hope. So I don't know, it's not that great, but a niche use, I suppose? I've also got a Horsey. Horsey's pretty good. We'll probably see Seadra later, hopefully. Depends if I can get laboratory packs, because yeah, that's kind of an issue at times. Anyway, what are we gonna do now? Not much else for this part, to be completely honest, because yeah, there really isn't a whole lot else to do. It's mostly just deciding where to go now, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that until next time. However, what I'm going to try and do first is to set up stuff, like you. There's, speaking to her sets up things, basically. The Ishihara guy owns 10,000 cards. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of cards. It's even over 9,000. Overused meme for the win. And, well, maybe he's actually there now. I think he will actually be there once you've done that. So let's go ahead and see. Yes, indeed, this is Ishihara. And he does actually come into play later because you can trade with him. You can also read up on stuff in his books, but I don't really care to do that, so whatever. Speaking of which, actually, whilst I'm here, let's just go into this one for a random thing. You can read up on the stuff, on the rules and things in the actual club, foyers themselves. So if you want to know what to do against the particular clubs, then just read the books. shows you the advantages of every type and whatnot. But the guy I'm looking for, I believe, is this one. Yeah, this guy collects the cards, and I don't have an Omastar. That's kind of lame. Basically, this is another like side quest sort of thing later. We're going to end up seeing lots of that sort of thing, but I can't do it right now because I don't have an Omastar. Maybe we'll get that later, I don't know. Anyway, I am going to go and make a new deck. I think I'm just going to stand in here because I can. I will be back in a second once I have made the deck. So yeah. Okay, so deck has been made. I don't actually have enough energy right now. I need to get one more. That's why there's a fire energy in here, because it's not like I have a fire type in here, but I actually don't have enough of these yet. I need to get one more, probably fighting energy. And so I'm gonna play Aaron in a little bit, and we'll get that. But basically this is going to be a water fighting deck, which is going to use some water types to star me, but you know, they're there anyway. Sandshrew and Sandslash, and then Diglett Dugtrio. That's it's an interesting set, I think. And then Rattata Raticate. The problem I'm gonna think with this deck is that all the basics have got very low HP, so I'm gonna have to rely on the evolutions a little bit to beef that up. And they don't exactly have that much HP either, but oh well, what can you do? Chansey is still in there. Chansey's gonna be the main tank. I think I'll probably try and bring that out quite often. Trainer line, nothing's really changed. I took out the energy retrieval just because I wanted to have Chansey in the deck. Other than that, everything's going to stay the same just now, but you can see that it's going to be that type of deck. I'm thinking maybe later what I might change it to is make it more water based and put Kingler in, or maybe just put Goldeen Sea King in instead of Diglett Dugtrio. We'll see how it works once I get more energy, of course, because I don't have enough water energy right now. But yeah, there is my Mudfish deck, and it's going to be used later. Don't know where I'm going yet, but we'll decide that later. Right now I'm going off to get more energy. So this has been gamercal playing the Pokemon trading card game. Join me next time when I go to a club, which I haven't yet decided, but we'll go there anyway. Good times will be had. See you then.